Good. Right. Thank you very much, everyone who has hopped on to this Zoom live. It's New Year's Eve, so I really, really appreciate it. Those of you that are going to watch this back on replay, I hope that you get some value from it. So originally, it was just going to be a little conversation between myself and a couple of the ladies in my team who wanted to just work together to find some kind of way of having some direction to some help and support in creating a vision for the next 12 months, what that looks like, and something to help keep you on track. And after a very, very, very brief non-conversation with Katie, she sent me how she's devised her plan. She's not she still needs to work on it tonight, but just seeing the skeleton of what she's done, thought that is absolutely genius. So with the help of a little bit of chat GPT, adding some extra bits in it from my own experience and wisdom, I think I have got about 20 minutes. Hopefully, maybe I can do it in a little bit less. Just a bit of some guidance on helping you take maybe an hour, maybe 2 hours, maybe it's something that you'll work on over the next week or so. Just something to help you have a consistent theme to help you build your brand, how you are going to be identified, what you are going to become the authority of. In that process over the next 12 months, not just in terms of your business, that is obviously where you're going to be seeing your benefits, in this respect, but it's also going to help you personally. I think when you look at this, if you can create a powerful vision that is going to be something that you can identify with you. It's something you're going to be able to be consistent with. It's something that you are going to be able to use as a powerful anchor to keep yourself on track, to yield the results in all the different areas of your life. And then should you ever branch off into another direction. People stay in this industry, people leave. If you add something else under your belt, if you find that your brand diversifies, you're still going to be able to have this core vision, which is going to be both identifiable with you, but also in alignment with pharmacy. And even if you was to just, for instance, if you're currently more into your makeup, but as you go into next year, maybe something's happened and you go more into health and wellness, or it doesn't necessarily have to be that it could be something that's happened in your life. But the idea is if you can nail this and stay consistent with it and master creating this powerful, precise vision, then you're going to be getting personal growth and then you're going to see that growth performatively as well. Okay, so firstly, what we want to be thinking of is we're going to create a vision board. This is the idea. So you're going to sit and put pen to paper and you're going to make some notes. And it might be crazy, chaotic notes at first. That's absolutely fine. And then you're going to make a visual of it. When you have a visual of it, I will just show you, for example, oh, that's the wrong one. Yeah, now I won't show you that because the kids are drawn on this one. This is mine, which I have removed most of the things on because it needs redoing, basically. But this is a very, very old mission and purpose statement that I wrote before I joined pharmacy. It was something where I wanted to get clear in my mind the direction I wanted to go into with my life. I knew I was feeling pulled away from my previous company. But before I jumped into anything else, whether it was a network marketing company, whether I went back into a legal career, I wanted to make sure that it ticked all of those boxes. And just having a process like that helps. So the idea of this is just to give it some sort of structure. So when you have your vision board and you have all of your statements and your guidelines, it's going to help carry you throughout at least these next 12 months. So every time you engage with any sort of training, when you go to Madrid and you engage with that training, you're going to be adding on to what you've already done now. You're going to be, so this is going to be like a skeleton, if you wish. And the next 12 months, all the studying that you do, all of the extra learning, all the action you take and the experience you get from it, that is going to add more meat to this. So you're going to be thinking of a powerful anchor statement. Now, this is going to be considered the statement of who you are becoming. Now, just as an idea, you may want to come back to this at the end. If you already at this point, which is fine, if you don't know who it is that you are going to be becoming, then I would say go through this entire process and then come back and write that statement. But that needs to be a very, very powerful statement. Something that is anchoring, it's true, it relates to your core, it's something that is going to keep you focused. It's something that reflects your values, your morals, the things that are important to you. And this is how, again, this is so important to do because there are far too many distractions out there. Um, and when you are on a mission, when you're here now on New Year's Eve, or whenever you're watching this, you're taking your time out to listen to this and to put this effort in. There's a reason why you are doing that, and this is going to keep you on track and keep it identified to you so you don't get distracted by thinking, oh, well, they're doing that, they're this far ahead. So it's a really important personal process. And by the time you come out of it, everybody's is going to look completely different. But the idea is over these next 12 months, you are going to have this powerful visual and theme so that when you come to creating content, when you come to having conversations, when you are going to have photo shoots, when you are creating photos for a particular purpose, you know exactly what it's going to look like, what that message is, and why you are doing it. You're going to stick with it. So you want to be thinking of your core identity. Think about who you are. What message is what is your message? And how do you embody that message? So think of it in terms of your own goals as well. So it's okay to be thinking of you've got an identity of who you are, and maybe you already know, okay, so I want, like a simple, you might be wanting to think about, you might fall into trap thinking of relating it to pharmacy. Although we are going to do that, just try and think of it in terms of like, what are your personal goals? Are you wanting to educate yourself further in another field? Are you struggling with your mental health? Do you feel like you've got something you need to overcome? Is it like self-worth issues? Have you got are you comparing yourself all the time? Whatever it is, you have your personal goals. And maybe you've got your physical ones as well. I would absolutely 100% look at physical goals. And I don't mean thinking, oh, I need to lose 2 stone or anything like that, or I need to be going to the gym. It's not about that. If you think about it, if you are embarking on any particular journey, you need to be able to have adequate sleep. You need to have the energy to be able to do these things. You need to have mental clarity. You need to be able to stay focused. All of those things begins with your body. So set yourself some physical goals. Maybe you want some spiritual ones or emotional ones, and then also some financial. I would add an emotion to these as well. So, for instance, a strong body, rather than thinking, oh, physical, I want to be a size 10. That's just my body. And thinking of it like that, think of it like strong. And when it comes to thinking about your spiritual or emotional goals, your personal goals, maybe something is that you get quite flustered. Maybe you don't feel like you're quite organized. So you want to be having a calm mind. Maybe with your income, you might be like, oh, well, 45 grand. I want to earn 45 grand. What does that mean? Where did he find that number from? What is that for? Attach it with an emotion. So something like a powerful income. Okay, and then really think about what that means. I mentioned this a few weeks ago as well about how, as leaders or as people in this space within the network marketing industry, we need to level up our language. And I think this is a really good core place where you can do it. So, so attach some emotions to some of those goals. Create some replicable, reusable visuals that are going to align with the brand as well. So, for instance, if you're going to be thinking about strong body, um, clearly we are ambassadors for pharmacy, so we're going to be thinking about these products. So, for instance, like every morning, I will share, sat down in the morning. peace and quiet by myself, a cup of coffee. It's religious. It's every single morning. I am there with a photo, with a saying good morning to everybody with a cup of coffee. Maybe when you are doing your business related posts, your income related ones, maybe it is your visual of you in your office. Maybe you've taken yourself out of your office as a place that you like to go where you can go and work. And you've got your laptop, maybe you've got your diary, maybe you've got your favorite book, like a law of attraction book. And then you've got your drink there. Maybe you've got your collagen, you've got your recharge, your alkalinity, whatever it is. Think of those and have it aligned with the brand. For each of these key pillars, not just your these goals. I'll go through these in more detail in a second. You want to be attaching some affirmations, and these are going to be in the present tense as well. So make sure that they are. Think of some key words as well. So, like I just said, remember language is key. I'm just going to pull up Katie's, but just as an example, I'm sure she won't mind me sharing them with you. Just going to wet my whistle. All right. Okay. Here we go. Right, I'm just going back. Yeah, when I read hers, I thought this is just absolutely genius. So for instance, like so I mentioned with your body and your pet your goals with your physical goals. So you're thinking strong body. So her visuals, she is thinking CrossFit at the gym. That's what she does. Strong female physique, protein shake and gym bag, early morning sunrise. So that times in well with her. But this is something, a visual that you want to be creating with every different area. So your personal goals, your physical, spiritual, emotional, financial, and then affirmations, something like my body is strong, capable, and disciplined. So you notice those are in the present tense. Um, I train because I respect myself. Strength is my identity. These are really powerful affirmations. And this is what we're going to get on our vision boards. I have done vision boards previously where it has literally just been, I want to go to Utah. I want to have a spa day. I want to go on a family holiday. Those sorts of things. That is not the type of vision board we are working on today. This is completely different. This is one where we are creating a deeper core vision that is going to encompass all of our different goals, including, I might add as well, how we, don't worry, Charmaine, um, how we are going to be showing up for other people as well. So I will talk about that towards the end. But then think of some key words here as well. Again, this is all really good. So you've got discipline, power, consistency, endurance. So when you go to create some content, at first, if you're not in the habit or if you're feeling a little bit lost and you're not sure, we want to be keeping our content consistent with our brand. And this is how this is going to help us. So 3 months down the line, 6 months down the line, this is going to become more habitual, but we're going to have visuals that are going to be easily identified for us. It's going to be easy for us to be able to quickly churn out our content. Because remember, most of the work that we want to be doing is going to be behind the scenes, having conversations and connecting with people, not just communicating, creating connections. But obviously we need to be showing up and being visual there in the first place. So it takes a lot of effort for us to get in the right mindset to create these visuals to put out on social media. But once you've got in the habit of this and you are more fair with everything that you do in here, it's going to become a lot more natural. So your conversations are going to be a lot more natural. You're going to have more control over what you're doing. You're going to have that feeling of control, and it's going to help you remain consistent and do it well. Okay, so that one was for the your core identity. The next one, we have an identity statement. And this is something which I want you to, this is like added on to that powerful anchor statement. This is more about who you are becoming. So I would, again, this is a process that's going to take some time, and just put some words down on paper. Just really think about that. And you could use ChatGPT. If you struggle with putting it into like sentences and paragraphs, just throw words out like I shown you on my spidergram, and then help yourself create a statement that is going to help you. Now, this is more of an impactful statement about you and your identity. It is not, I want to be emerald rank. I want to be diamond rank. That isn't powerful. It's not powerful at all. That's not what's going to keep you anchored in and keep you staying true to who you are because it's irrelevant. Everything are going to be working on with this vision could be applied to all those different areas of your life, and it wouldn't matter what company you are with at all, or even if you're in the network marketing direct sales space either. So your three affirmations that you're going to create that around your identity statement, these are going to be I am, my, I lead with. And then you also, for this, you're going to think of a visual style to help you create an identifiable brand. So this is where you may be thinking about a color palette, a mood, and the overall aesthetics. So you know, like for instance, Katie has got this nailed. She's been very, very good and proficient with this for years. So when we went to the photo shoot, navy, very smart, clean cut, professional women, strong, sexy, feminine, but still powerful and classy. So not everybody's going to identify with that. I'm not saying go out and buy yourself a power suit. Everybody's is going to be different. And this whole process, you actually taking the time to sit and think about who you are becoming, you're going to then be able to think of a visual that is going to help you express yourself as that person and step into that person. And it's going to help you with, like, over the next 12 months, when you go to different events, when you go to Madrid, if we have another event, which I'm hoping that we get to do in 2026, if there are any corporate events, when you start doing your own road shows and you're talking about the opportunity, you're already going to know exactly who you are showing up as because you're showing up as that identity statement, and you're going to keep attached to that because of your anchor statement. You know who it is that you're becoming, you know the person who you're becoming, and you know what that person looks like, how they express themselves, because that person is you. It just happens to be the future you. Okay, so you've got your color palette. That's something which you can, when you create this sort of content as well, and you don't have to have fancy photo shoots, literally just get your ring light, set up some nice fancy lighting, tidy up in the background, have some nice photos, put some fancy filters over it if you want to, go on Canva, jazz them up a little bit, and then you've got those, and you've got those that you can keep reusing for the exact same message. Now, so at this point, we have got a powerful anchor statement. You've then got your different pillars. So you've got your personal, your physical, spiritual, emotional, financial. You've got an emotion attached to each of those. You've got a statement attached to them. You've got an affirmation, you've got three affirmations, and you've got keywords attached to each of these. Hi, Tasha. Hope you're well. Hi, Lorraine. Lastly, I say lastly, I've still got things to add on. I want you to be thinking about your impact and legacy. So this is how you are showing up, how you are serving others. So at the minute you have got your personal goals, your physical goals, and your spiritual, your financial, and all of those. But we know that if you are going to be within this network marketing space, it is not just about you. You will have success for yourself, and then you turn around and you help others have success. That is how you advance. That is not just, it's personally for me, that is one of the best parts. When you have had an experience yourself and you've had some success, and then you duplicate that and you help another person authentically grow into their own off the back of your mentorship. And it's not something that's like self-fulfilling. It's not something that you're doing selfishly. It's just really, really great to know that you've had a positive impact on somebody else's life. So for instance, if ultimately you're thinking financially you want to earn X amount of money, we all know within this business and the compensation plan what we need to do and how many people we need to help in order to get it. We hear this all the time, and it is absolutely true. It is fundamental. This is something where you have in the network marketing industry that you don't have like in your ordinary corporate world. The more people you help, the more you earn, but it's mutually beneficial. It's a win-win situation. It's very rare, and it is something that has kept me in this industry for almost 11 years. And I think a lot of you that have been here for a long time as well, you would probably say to yourself, like, one of the best parts is knowing that you are in a position to help other people. So this is something that is really important. I will just quickly refer you back to this. So some of you may have seen this before. I know you can't see it, but this was, so I've put mission and purpose, and I've just literally written words, and I've put confidence. So this was like what I wanted, for confidence in myself. But then as I expanded on it, it is how I wanted other people to feel confident, more quality time with my family, what that looked like, and then how I wanted other people to be able to, have that financial independence for themselves and what that looked like. The female financial freedom, which is what I spoke about um when I very, very first joined with pharmacy at a completely different event. It was an empowerment event. Help women earn extra money. Like why, how much, what for, being a yes mama, all of these different things. Taking control of your life, energy, passion, health and wellness, financial freedom, time freedom, what that meant for me, but also how I could help somebody else as well. And I think it's really important that when you have got these goals, when you have got these pillars that you have broken down, yes, they are personal to you and they're about your brand. But the reason why you are using pharmacy as this driving force, the reason why you're in this industry is so that you can have that impact on others. And that legacy is literally how, when you do this and you create it well and you do it strong, this is going to duplicate and pass on to so many other people. And that literally is your legacy. So think about it, really get into the nitty-gritty. How are you showing up for others? Are you educating? Are you empowering? What kind of leader do you want to become? And then create visuals around this. So it could, think about things like, how are you going to use your voice? We all have a voice, we all have opinions, we all have things that we believe in, our core values. And no matter whether you have 50 followers or 50,000 followers, you have influence. You're on social media where you've got the power to reach millions and millions of people, millions of people just like you, those people who you're wanting to show up for and help. You have got the power. So, how are you using your voice? And do not minimize yourself with this, because your voice is powerful. Your story is powerful, not just for you. Maybe it got you through some hard times, but we are here, like I said, when we go through something ourselves, it is a moral obligation. For me, it's like a fundamental desire. I want to help other people overcome it as well. So think about that. And when you create these affirmations, my voice, how does that work? My work, I am here too. So when you work through those and how you answer those questions, it's really, really going to help you create more depth to everything else that you've done. It adds more power to it. Now, this is where you're going to add your bottom anchor. So your top anchor, this is about who you are becoming. That's your powerful identity statement. This is your anchor statement, who you are becoming. This next one, this has got to be to this is what helps you keep steady and stay consistent when life gets loud, because it does. And it needs to answer this question. When everything feels chaotic, what do I stand on? What do I do? Where do I go? What do I turn to? It's going to be grounding. It's got to be something that's calming, helps you recalibrate. It's not related to any sort of performance. It's less about hype and energy. It's more about certainty. So you could have some statements around this, some affirmations. No matter what, I move with integrity. I think that's a really important one, especially when you put yourself out there, and we all have that voice sometimes, especially in this business. If you haven't had it before, pharmacy delivery on New Year's Eve, that's all right, isn't it? If you've never had this before, like, who does she think she is? If you've never felt to yourself, who does she think she is, showing up on social media, as she is, If you've never had that before, then you are not being loud enough. You are not getting deep enough with your message. And so this is really good because I feel like integrity and authenticity, when you are showing up with those two, then it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. If if somebody else is like, who does she, if people actually are thinking, who does she think she is, it doesn't matter. So just again, I'm almost finished now. This process is for you. It is irrespective of stock issues, life getting in the way, health, all sorts of things that can come up if there's any technology problems, if the website's not working, if there are stock delays, if there are new product launches. So not just like negative things that can impact us with our business, but even like positive things like when we get special offers and things like that. This is to keep you grounded. This is to keep you focused and aligned and on track with your vision and staying true with that. And because you are going to have different things come up and they're distractions. Sometimes they're not very good and sometimes they are very, very good. But we need to make sure that we are completely laser focused on our vision. And I think when you are and you still feel a little bit of unsettlement within yourself, you can stop, you can reflect, and then you can think to yourself, am I showing up in accordance with what I hold valuable to me, who I identify as, because you've got this identity statement. Is this all still valid? Are these things that I still want? And this is a really, really good way in which you can notice if you have started to come to fall away, if you have started to be distracted, if you have let comparison slip in, having something like this is going to help ground you. Okay, so it's going to help you realign with this vision. Having it there every single day is going to keep you on track. But I know from my own experience that sometimes things can come across, and it's not necessarily a bad thing as well, because I've done this process before. And then I've thought to myself, hang on a minute, is what I'm doing now getting me closer to where I want to be? And then I've had to think, well, am I still aligned with the brand that I'm representing? Is this where I'm at in my life right now? And what needs to change? At that time, it was the vehicle, the company that I was with. It wasn't aligned with where I was at all. So this is a really, really good process where you can make sure that you are staying true to you and your core beliefs, and you are not falling into the trap of doing what you think other people think you ought to be doing, which sometimes can happen. Okay, so you creating this, having this vision board, which, like I said, isn't just full of material things, like that's still great to have, but that's not what this is. This is going to give you that structure. This is going to help you show up every single day and you know how you're showing up, who you're showing up for, who you are, so that by the end of this year, next year, you have got utter conviction in what it is you are doing. You are habitual, not just that, but you're showing up in the authority of what it is that you're wanting that message to be. I did have this written down because an exercise that I did earlier, which I would really suggest you do. Get your diary out. So hopefully you've all got a new diary. If not, use your calendar on your phone and go to the 31st of December 2026 and just write as if you're in that time. You can put, I earned X amount of money. I have a strong body. I'm of calm, sound mind. I am very good at conflict resolution. All of those different present tense statements, but you're saying them that you've already achieved it. And that's when you've gone through this process, that is a really good way to do so that you know that those two are aligned. Right, okay. So hopefully this has given you some structure on how you can create a vision with that your own guidance and your own little GPS, your own compass, so you know where you're going. If you go into 2026 or any year without having a plan, without knowing where you want to be personally, without knowing who you want to become, without knowing who you are serving or how you're serving them, without knowing how you're using your voice, without knowing that, your physical self needs to be at a certain point, that you financially need to be at a certain point. If you don't know where you are financially, like if you don't know how many credit cards you've got, if you don't know what bills you owe, if you're behind on something, if you don't have any savings goals, you're just winging it. You're absolutely wing it. So we want to be going into 2026 with a clear direction that is directly personal to you, aligned with this business, because this business, pharmacy, this industry and pharmacy, I don't know if you saw the reel the other day, but we've had 50% growth year on year. That is absolutely phenomenal. We are in the right place. So it'd be very, very foolish to not go into the next year with a strong vision to keep us on track. So that when we hop onto our community calls, when we do the leadership training, when we go to Madrid, when we tap into whatever these different resources are, when we read these books that are going to help us better ourselves, it all is going to add into this. It's going to add more to it so that when we are creating this vision for 2027, it is, it's easy. Well, it's challenging, but we know what it is we're doing because we're just adding on to what we've already done now. This is starting off as like a little bony skeleton, and we're going to spend the next year adding more and more meat to it. So, has anybody got any questions or anything that they want to say? Let's have a look. I love that, Anita, that you got your kids on there. Honestly, this is a really, really good idea. Particularly if anyone's got partners that are maybe not supportive or maybe don't understand it, do it together. And even if they are super, super supportive, have it so that it's a joint effort. So when you can manage your expectations, when you on New Year's Eve, you have an hour where you're away from the family and you're doing some work, they're fine because they know what you're doing. They know that you've got this, that they're invested in it because maybe there's something in it for them as well. Maybe they're going on holiday and you're like, right, if you want to go on holiday, we need to earn the money to go on holiday. And you want to go to that place and you want us to go and do this, have this experience. Right, okay, well, I need to work. Speak their language, get them with some skin in the game as well. Make it and as well, it's great to show them as they grow up, to go into the next year, to go into the week, to go into the day, knowing exactly what they want to achieve, to have these goals, what they're working towards. Oh, you 96-year-old grandma, happy new year. That's amazing. That's amazing. And don't apologize, honestly. I like I did say, I've got this recorded. Happy new year, Tasha. Happy New Year, everybody. Oh, yeah, Alex, what question have you got? Sorry, I've only just seen it. Do you want to unmute yourself and ask the question, or have you
Yeah,
asked?
thank you.
Yeah.
It, it's um it's only a quick one, and I'm gonna sound like a right party poop when I say this, and I really, really don't mean it to come across like this, but I don't know how else to say it. So I've written everything down on my phone whilst playing with Pete. Apologies.
No, apologize.
And I know like now what to do, but when I come to do actually write it, so like tonight when I put Pete to bed and I come to write everything down, I'm going to be like, am I allowed to swear? Because this is recorded. I'm going to be like, fuck, I don't know what to do. And my mind will just go blank. And I'll just be stuck in a rut and I will be writing like, I want whatever money, I want this, I want that, rather than
That's fine. That's honestly,
everything that we've discussed, which right now I'm like, yeah, no, I want to do this, I want to do that.
yeah, well, no, honestly, that's absolutely fine because I said to Katie, I said, I understand what a vision is because I've done that process
I
before. But
know.
when it comes to like having a plan or even thinking about that, I always struggle myself. And when I started writing about things that I've accomplished this year, when I wrote it in the future, the first thing I thought was like, well, do I put what status I am? I'm like, am I emerald status? Am I going to put diamond? I want to earn £45,000 above. I have personally recruited 120 people. I've got 10 new directors and all of those things. And it's easy to do those, but it's when she sent me this that I've broken down and made into a skeleton. That's when I realized that you can, it's more important to do that. But I wrote that down. I put like I want a holiday. Um, what it looks like. I want to go to Ibiza. I want to have a holiday, just me and Rob. All those little things like that. So write those down. But I would ask yourself, why? Why do you want those? Why is that so important to you? And keep asking yourself that. Keep asking yourself because if you put a figure on it and you're like, oh, I want to earn 45 grand, why 45,000 pounds? Why do you need to earn that amount of money? What are you going to do with that money? Have you just plucked that figure out the air? Does it need to be more? Do you need to have earned 60,000 pounds? Does it need to be 100,000 pounds? Or if it's why do you want to help 120 people? Like, why is that so important? Why do you want to help other people have leaders? But I think when you go back to your impact and legacy, how are you serving others? How are you using your voice? Oh, thank you. Um, yeah, how are you using your voice? Like, who are you speaking up for? When you've got those sorts of a vision for that, it's going to be a lot easier for you, Alex, because I've done this before and you write a load of fluff down and then you still go into the new year absolutely clueless what it is you're doing. But when I saw how Katie's looked, where she has gone into the nitty-gritty of literally this is what her physical goal looks like. These are her affirmations. These are her key words. So I know what I'm going to be doing when I show up. We have daily trackers, so we know what we need to be doing on a daily basis. We know that we need to be posting content. We know what content we need to be creating. We know we need to have conversations with people. We know it needs to be more about connection and less about communication. But when you don't have these fundamentals, then you're just talking, you just, there's no real direction. You might say to somebody, oh, do you want to join up to earn a bit of extra money? And then I'm like, yeah, of course, why not? And you've got lucky and they've joined up. But then you're not going to know how to mentor them because you don't know yourself where you're going. If you don't know where you're going and why you're going there, you don't have those anchors that keep you doing it. Those really important things that really pull you in, that when life does get loud and noisy, keeps you showing up when you know you need to do something that's tough and it's going to make you feel vulnerable and you're going to have to push yourself out your comfort zone. If you don't have a core visual like this, a really strong, personal, powerful statement, like a message of why and understanding why you want to be doing this, then you're just not going to do it. You're not going to do it. You're just going to have another year. You'll show up to trainings and you'll say that you want to have success, but if you haven't actually identified what that looks like for you and why that's so important to you, you're just going to keep going in blindly. And I did this for years, absolutely years, and there's nothing wrong with that. Absolutely nothing wrong with that at all. But I think at this point, personally, I made a decision back in 2023 that I wanted things to be ch to change, and I knew that I had to have a huge overhaul. Um, and that's what I did. I didn't realize I was going to leave my friend circle. There was like two very good friends I no longer speak to, and it turns out that was for the best. I left my business. That showed up a lot of people who I thought were friends, who were actually not friends. Um, you have a shedding like this last year even it's the year of the snake. When you look back you have this reflection and you realize that you've had this shedding. It happens when you get uncomfortable and you really push yourself out there, and part of that for me is knowing that I had that statement that kept me on track, that helped me have conviction, knowing that I was working with integrity, that I was being authentic, that I knew that the reason why I was showing up was because I wanted to have this impact on other people's lives. And yes, I wanted to earn X amount of money for my own family and for my own personal gains, but because I had this purpose, this mission, this impact that I wanted to have, and this legacy, and because I had a clear vision of what I knew that would look like. But yeah, sometimes when it comes to actually putting pen to paper and thinking, right, how is that going to look over the next 12 months? It can be tricky. But I think when we've got this, and you've got this done and you've got this visual, then at the end of the month, when you assess how your performance has gone, and then you break it down and you think, right, okay, I'm going to have X amount of conversations, I'm going to recruit so much, I'm having a 90-day run, these are the activities I'm focusing on. Is it a sales month? Is it a recruitment month? And that sort of thing. You know how you're going to do those things because you know what your message is, how your conversations are going to be showing up, how you're going to be showing up on social media, what you're going to look like, what your aesthetics are going to look like, what you're going to sound like, because you've got the keywords and you're going to do it because you've got your bottom statement, you've got your bottom anchor, you know if life gets in the way and loud, you absolutely know why you're going to be showing up and doing it. You've got your powerful anchor statement because you know who it is you're becoming and you're invested in her. This is entirely personal. So I think I'm confident that if you put the time and effort into creating this visual, then when it comes to planning a week ahead, a month ahead, or anything like that, or when something, when plans don't always, we all know life will happen. When you've got this, it's going to help you realign and refocus and pivot if you need to. I think it's going to help you keep on track and it's going to really help you not think, oh, fluff, I'm just writing down a load of random stuff and I don't know why I want it. It's going to be really, really, really impactful. If we've got any other questions, Charmaine's left. Um, yeah, have a wonderful new year. I don't know, is anyone else just staying at home and doing absolutely nothing? I'm not even getting dressed up. I'm not putting in it. Sometimes I'll get dressed up and stay at home. I'll put a fancy frock on. I'm not even doing that. Maybe I will do. I might either get some new boots for Christmas. Maybe I'll put a dress on and
Thanks, Sadie.
I don't know. I hope that answered your question. But don't ever think that you're being negative at all. Like this is why I said, like, if you've got a contribute, if anyone's got anything they want to say
Thank
it.
you.
If you've got something that you struggle with, if you don't say it, nobody knows, and it could help you. You know, if you don't ask that question, if you don't be vulnerable and say, you know what, actually, I really struggle with this, you, you're never gonna overcome it.
Mm.
Yeah. So Lorraine, you're babysitting grandkids. That's lovely. That's really, really nice. Do you know, I always think who you spend your new year with, that's who you want to spend the rest of your following year with. So it's why I don't go out and socialize with complete strangers anymore. I mean, I like to party. I can do that any time. But when it comes to New Year, I like to be at home with my family.
Down to my sister-in-law.
Ah, yeah. Oh,
Mm.
nice. Nice. Oh, well, that's good. I love a house party. And
We're
that's
supposed
that.
to be with my sister-in-law. However, she's been really selfish this year and she's gone away. So we're not doing anything.
Oh, right. Oh, so you're not going there. Oh, well.
Rude,
Yeah.
rude. So
Rude.
this is me for the evening.
Well, do you know, I'm definitely not putting any makeup on. I've done all my skincare. My skin's like looking all glowy, and I'm a bit flushed because I'm warm. And as I was
It's
writing
just
my
me and
notes down,
Pete tonight.
yeah, yeah, I was writing my notes down. I was getting all excited, and I was drinking that. Do you know, it's nice though, just you and Pete, just nice snuggles. Do you know, you can, once you get him to sleep, it's good as, it doesn't matter how you want to bring the new year in. But I said like absolutely this like the last couple of weeks, I've not been on it with my business. I've posted, I've kept up with my customer groups, I've put orders through, I've had the conversations, I've not been anywhere near as on it as what I normally am, but that's fine. That's why we do this business, so we can be flexible. Um, I've still kept my presence up on social media amazingly. But I wanted to have this time today because I want to go into New Year. I want to go into 2026 with this clear visual. So I'm really, really excited about this. Yeah, if anybody wants to have, if you're in my team, I will have a one-to-one with you. If you're not directly under me, please go to your upline or your upline leader and ask for a one-to-one with them and get this visual and just maybe have like just think about 15 minutes. It should be enough time for a one-to-one to just talk about what your vision looks like. Because I think when you share it, you might, when you say it out loud, um, it can be powerful. It can be powerful, especially if someone's gonna be like, yeah, that's really good, or point something out to you like, you've already, did you not realize you've already achieved that? You already are that person. It's a really good process anyway. So I'm looking forward to planning those in over the next couple of weeks. So yeah, definitely take the time to do this, and then book yourself in with a one-to-one with whoever your upline is, whether it's your sponsor or your sponsor. You know, there's different dynamics going on there. Um, but yeah, but I'm gonna get going now because this is starting to go to my head. Rob's brought me the rest of the bottle. Do you know, I thought I'd only had two glasses, but there's not much of that bottle left. I must have really gone through it whilst I was writing these notes and talking to you, lovely lot. Anyway, I'm gonna love you and leave you. I hope you have the most amazing evening tonight. However you're spending it, doesn't have to be fancy or anything like that. It's just a nice time to reflect over the lessons and blessings of this year and to let go of anything that no longer serves us, write it down, burn it, stick it on the fire, do it safely, please. Let's not have any accidents, and then go into 2026 with that crystal clear vision and I go and absolutely smash it. I'm really excited. So thank you all so much who've come on live and spent your evening with me, or an hour of it anyway, however long it's me. 20 minutes. Did I say 15, 20 minutes? I don't know why I said that. Crazy. But thank you so much. Happy New Year and speak to you all soon. Bye.